Hello, friends. Let's face it, by the late 1770s, the American Revolution was no longer just an awkward family fight between Britain and her rebellious teenager. Nope, this was turning into a full-blown global soap opera. And like any juicy drama, the neighbors got involved. Welcome to the part of the story where powdered wigs, secret treaties, and international grudges take center stage. So, who showed up at the party? First up, France. Sweet, sophisticated, and smelling faintly of baguettes and revenge. The French had been itching for payback ever since the British embarrassed them in the 7 Years' War. Enter Benjamin Franklin, strutting through Paris salons in his fur hat like a colonial rock star. With his charm and diplomacy, and a little help from American victories like Saratoga, France officially joined the fight in 1778. The French brought money, troops, ships, and flair. Their navy disrupted British supply lines, their army bolstered Washington's ragtag forces, and their alliance made the war everyone's problem. But wait, there's more. Spain entered the ring next, not as a direct ally of the US, but as a co-belligerent against Britain. Their goal? To reclaim lost territory. Under the fiery leadership of Bernardo de Galvez, Spanish forces captured British forts along the Gulf Coast, including the key city of Pensacola. Galvez fought with such gusto that, years later, American cities would be named in his honor, though sadly, no one ever named a sandwich after him. A real missed opportunity. Even the Dutch got caught in the crossfire, mostly because they dared to trade with America. Britain responded by declaring war on them too. Basically, the British Empire found itself surrounded, grumpy, and increasingly low on tea. This broader conflict stretched Britain's military thin across the globe. India, the Caribbean, West Africa, and the high seas turned into battlegrounds. What started as colonial unrest was now a world war in disguise. And King George was probably wondering if everyone on Earth had joined just to spite him. And let's not forget the privateers, the pirate-light patriots licensed by Congress to raid British ships. Think of them as the Revolution's version of Uber, but for cannonballs and stolen rum. With so many nations playing pirate politics, even the Atlantic Ocean felt like a tavern brawl with ships instead of fists. Now, here's the fun twist. While the global powers were flexing their fleets and flipping alliances, many Americans still didn't realize how international their revolution had become. Sure, they toasted French officers and sang odes to liberty, but this wasn't just about redcoats and muskets anymore. It was about world empires, colonial rivalries, and global dominoes tipping one by one. In a sense, America didn't just fight for independence, it redefined it. The revolution inspired tremors in distant lands and planted questions in the minds of those still waiting in history's wings. Which brings us to the next chapter. Because while kings and admirals played chess with nations, many others were watching, waiting. Native American tribes caught between empires, enslaved peoples yearning for the freedom being preached but not practiced, women who managed farms, tended wounds, and wrote revolutionary words from the shadows. Yes, the war was global, but it was also deeply personal. So next time, we'll turn our eyes not to Europe, but to the unseen, the unheard, and the unforgettable. Native Americans, enslaved peoples, and women. Because while history often records the generals, revolutions belong to everyone.